It's time to finish up the Care of Magical Creatures Wizarding Weekend. I'm Professor Vokus, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
Before we begin, I would like to say the two spotlight events they had on Tuesday, Wednesday this past week. Definitely enjoyed those. On Wednesday, I didn't even realize because I kind of had a guide in the other guide for this weekend. I talked a little bit about those two events, but they kind of sprung them on us. So it was definitely last minute. Although some Australians I talked to said they found out like hours before that was actually beginning. So for them, even less, time to get prepared. Anyway, I really did like what they did with that. And on the Wednesday event specifically, I didn't realize that you could use any runestone. It didn't matter what runestone you used in those three chambers, and you would get that guaranteed fragment, which means you could use your old brilliant event runestones. Like I had like 101 flora and fauna runestones. So I used some of them, and somebody had commented in my video and said, by the way, they confirmed this, which I guess, granted it was an experimental event, but I hope in the future when they do that, they really do need to give us that information beforehand. Anyway, I think that is a fantastic idea of what to do with our extra runestones. When we have those brilliants, people are like, what should I do with them? And most people just hang on to them and they're just sitting in there. That would be a fantastic way for us to be able to reuse them. They just kind of become a generic runestone to use on those days, which would be just great. And when you finish an event, it's a reason to keep doing more because you get more family experience, get more of those event runestones, even though you're done with the event, so that you can use them for those future events. It's perfect. That is synergistic. I like the word synergy when it comes to games like this, and that is something I think would be creating great synergy. Moving on to the event at hand, you can see right here, I've completed the 10 Wizarding Challenges already with 3 teammates. The 25 foes, no problem, which got me, 112 of the 1,200 family experience. Still got a ways to go. And 2 Buckbeaks I actually got outside my house. Today is Sunday. Friday and Saturday, didn't even leave my house at all. Didn't even open up the game a lot. I mainly just ran the Wizarding Challenges. So even though I opened up the game to run the Wizarding Challenges, I really wasn't seeing much in the way of foundables around me. I still just don't get a lot of spawns unless I put a tonic on. But I knew I wanted to come out and actually finish collecting the foundables actually in a park and that kind of thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and collect the, the Powder Dragon Claw, and then we'll collect the Daldraft for doing the challenges, essentially. By the way, I'll keep this short. In the past, I've shown you me running fortresses, and normally they go okay. Sometimes I get past focus, sometimes I don't. Well, I ran Forest 4, which granted isn't a Dark 5. It's not the highest chamber. In the past, in my comments, you guys have said, hey, you should go do Discord. You won't run into, trouble. And I'm like, it's okay. It doesn't bother me that much. Running those fortresses and trying to get the Hagrid's hut to, which we're going to go to that page in a second, that got so frustrating. I never got past focus in any of the chambers I did. I did Forest 4 about 7 times. I think I did about it 7 times, and I only got 2 Hagrid's huts out of that. The other 5 were all the Abraxan. And none of the 7 did any of the Aurors ever pass me focus. One of them, it was 3 Aurors, a professor, and a Magiologist, me being the professor. And none of the 3 Aurors passed me focus. And a lot of times the Aurors wouldn't pass me focus, and they'd immediately jump in on like a werewolf when there was dark wizards. And so anyway, that was a struggle. That was definitely a struggle, and I've never been frustrated with the fact that just fortress after fortress that happens, because usually it's in and out. That time, it was just consistent, which makes me definitely want to consider doing that. But it made me more think that there needs to be something in the game that's a tutorial that before you even do a fortress, it makes you do sample fortresses of how to pass focus, and just kind of teaches you the game and which opponents you should be going after. So less than frustration for me, it's frustration of the game. Hey, you guys should teach this stuff. Somebody shouldn't be required to download a mobile game and then go have to watch YouTube videos like these or other people's on guides on how to play your thing. the game itself should definitely do it. For mobile games, there's other games that, yes, it requires a little bit more learning and Googling things. This, though, really should be within the game itself. Okay, mini rant over, not really a rant, just a thing that happened. You know what I ended up doing, actually, is I left Forest 4, and because it was taking so long to fill the Chamber 2, I actually just, as soon as I had finished doing those, I needed, I think, 2 more Hagrid's Huts, because I needed 4 total. I ended up going down and just soloing, like, Ruins 5 myself, because I could burn through them. And just, even though I didn't have the better drop rate, the guaranteed, I still had a chance to get it, which I did. So I just ran like 5 of those in the same time and got my 2 and moved on. Actually, and then I ran a bunch of lower level chambers. I think 3 more. I needed 3 more to finish the 10, and I got that. So I am here at Walnut Street Park. You can see some stuff ready spawning around me, but I do need to open up the ability to get more fragments on the registry page, and we'll look at that in 2 seconds. I'm at Walnut Street Park, though. It's a nice small park. Man, look at all that. Okay, let's get into the registry quickly, and let's go ahead and do some things. So here at Hagrid's Hut page, you can see I was holding these fragments. I was holding Baby Norwegian, I was holding Hagrid, and I was holding Buckbeak, which the Buckbeak, I just got bonus fragments. I want to carry those fragments to the silver page, but that's why I needed Hagrid's Hut, because that's my only green star I don't have. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that, place that image. Nice. By the way, there's 250 toward that 1200, so that's a big chunk right there. Couple rank ups as well. So now we can prestige and move over to the next page. Yes, I would like to prestige. All right, so let's look at the new page. So Hagrid, if you look, I'm 5 out of 7, and whenever I get to place him, he's going to give me 350. And then Baby Norwegian Ridgeback, 125 when I place him, and then Buckbeak, 3 more, and I get 200 out of him. Nice. So you can see, obviously going to get some good experience, family experience, just from placing these guys, in addition to the experience you get for returning them themselves. I don't think I have any other images to place unless I see like dragon eggs. If I end up seeing dragon eggs, then a couple more. How many will I get out of that? Another 100 right there. So going back to the tasks, you're looking right here. I need to get the Ridgebacks, I need to get the Buckbeaks, and I need to get the Hagrids. And then 12, that'll certainly get me closer to the 1200, and I think we can actually knock it out by maybe getting some more Hagrids or Buckbeaks and getting to place that image another time. The Hagrid actually might be the most likely that I have to get 12 anyway, so I might actually get to place him twice, which would be a huge chunk of family experience to get me to that 1200. Anyway, I've talked enough. Let's head around this park and get all these foundables. As you can see, it's gotten a little bit darker since when we first started, because I did come right at kind of the end of where dusk was turning over. So it's definitely turned over. I'm going to hit this Foundable while we talk. Ah, nice. This is the 4th Fluffy, actually, I've seen. In addition to all the event stuff, I've definitely seen Fluffies. I didn't put any of them in the montage because I really wasn't recording when I wasn't getting the Care of Magical Creatures or Grops. Nice. That's happened every time. I get them down to 1. And then I have to use an energy to get that last one. All right, so during this time, as I take out the 3-headed dog, not necessarily Fluffy, just his breed. Nice, 6 out of 10. I placed the image once, actually, too. So in this time, and I need to get this energy while we're doing this, I have definitely gotten really good at casting Alohomora. So how it all started, at the beginning I was using potions, and I was actually using trace charms because I wanted to get fragments quicker so I could build up to that image and place the image, and it makes it a lot easier to then get the family experience. Which the family experience, it ended up being Hagrid. I placed Hagrid's image twice, and it was 350 each time, so it was 700, and then once I threw Buckbeak and those down, it was crazy easy. In fact, let's go to the registry before I even collect anything. So look, I even have Hagrid ready to place again, and Buckbeak 9 out of 13. I was building them back up. Mainly I'm going to wait now to carry their fragments over because since I'm at the finish now, I don't think I'm going to build my Hagrids back up. But that's just to carry over to golds. They're not, I already placed the image, so I don't need them for gold. Coming down here though, we talked about this. I did get some dragon eggs right at the end, actually. I started to see them, not in the middle. So anyway, I can place that image, which is great because on the silver page, now I've placed it, which means the Firenze and the Puffskein are all I need, which is a Fortress Foundable, and then Firenze, just one that's a little harder to find. Although I do see him more often than some other hard to find Foundables, if that makes sense. So pretty much mission accomplished for this page here, Hagrid's Hut, because the only thing I need are the 2 Fortress Foundables, which these Fortress Foundables aren't as bad to get because there's only so many, so I can run them, and I just got a whole bunch of runestones, which means I'm set up to be able to run fortresses with those, get both of those, as well as the Puffskein, which I need anyway, so no matter what I get, I'm happy with it. So I'll probably run fortresses solo mainly and just pound through them and get these. Again, at some point, I need to have a fortress day is what I need. But let's go to the actual tasks for this event because I have finished them. 20 Norwegians. Look, 3 more level 5 runestones. 10 spell energy. Oh my gosh, I need that. 10 more spell energy. I need that. I ran out of energy, and we're going to talk about that right now. 1,200 Care Magical Creatures. Because of the Trace Charm and running the Hagrids, I got done with that way early. I had still to get a ton of Norwegian Ridgebacks. I still had to get like 10 Buckbeaks, and I still had to get like 8 Hagrids at that point. So surprisingly easier because of that image, because of the silver page Hagrid. So hopefully you were able to get one of those images multiple times, and that really helped you get there. So now we're going to get 200 more, 2 defense against their art books, 2 spell books, and a silver key. So essentially that's Wizard Week complete from the task perspective, and honestly it's going to be for me anyway because like I said, that page, I've gotten everything I wanted out of it, and then I'm not really feeling like running fortresses anymore. Also, if you look at my energy, I'm 100 out of 235. I came here with about 30 or 40, I think. But I picked up a ton, and there's the 2 inns, and this greenhouse, and another greenhouse, another inn, another inn, another inn. I was hitting all those. It was the first half of the event. Well, the first half of me catching things. While I was doing the Trace Charm especially, I actually was using potions. Extimulo potions, strong Extimulo potions, no potents. I was using those 2. Maybe I used a potent. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I was using potions, and I was still struggling a little, but in general, I was getting the things after 2 or 3 casts and no real departures. So once I got done with Trace Charming and got all the fragments I needed, and I just needed more of the things, like a lot of events, I wanted to see, what's this event like if you're not just drinking potions constantly? Because some people can't do that, and you shouldn't. I feel like you shouldn't have to do that no matter what level player you are. And in that sense, I then started struggling. And because I don't want it to be just my feelings and how it feels like it went, although that's important, I actually started to count how many, I just went with Buckbeaks because I just want to try to keep track. How many Buckbeaks, because I had the most trouble with them, do I need to cast 10 or more times, and what happened? And it ended up being, I finished the Buckbeaks, but during that time, there were 7 Buckbeaks that cost me 10 or more casts, and all of them departed. None of them actually stayed after 10 casts, or some of them was 11, 12. The highest one was 16. It was 16 casts, and I got really good at the cast. I was hitting masterfuls pretty much all the time because I had had so much practice. Speed, I was popping through it, and I was hitting masterful casts to get the best chance at least. And that's just say 10 times 7. That's 70 energy that somebody would have had to drop. And they got away too. And now you're supposed to continue on and just keep going, which of course I did. But that can be really frustrating. And for a casual or a new player, I'd see that as being prohibitive, where they would just give up. They would give up. If you did that and you had a couple Buckbeaks, like 3 of them out of, say, the 5 you were going for, did that, that would really be frustrating. And you would probably just say, you know what, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm just going to put the game down. So I still feel like there's something needs to be done with that. I really want to make a potions episode about how I feel potions are overused in this game, both from thematic standpoint and then from a gameplay standpoint. I feel like we shouldn't have to use them to be able to finish in a timely manner these events. Overall, still enjoyed the event. It wasn't too hard, definitely. I just needed to, again, come and devote time to it in a bigger sense than a casual player would. I really, took a couple hours here to just knock it out and go at it. And I used a lot of potions in that first half. I used probably, 15 Extimula potions and then another 10 strong Extimula potions. So it was a decent amount. It's just because I had that stockpile and I still have some left, but I stopped using them at that point. One last thing I want to do has nothing to do with the event. It's this page right here. Everything is green starred. I've been waiting for this Chudley Cannons player, and I finally got all of this. This was probably like a week ago. I just keep forgetting I have this. So we're going to place that image, which is going to allow us to prestige this page to gold. So I do get to prestige a page to gold during Wizarding Weekends, but it has nothing to do with the Wizarding Weekend. But that one is still set up, so I'm pretty excited there. Anyway, let's prestige this over to, there we go. I was having trouble hitting, well, I was hitting it and nothing was happening. So prestige, congratulations. Bam, gold. Nice. So the other pages, unfortunately, it's Fortress Foundables. I'm green starred there except for Fortress. I'm green starred here except for Fortress. And I'm no green stars here. I'm missing a lot there. This page, this is the one. Green starred except for the Slytherin banner. So anyway, we'll work on that at some point. Wow, it's really getting dark now. So although event is over, I might actually get out of my car in just a second because being at such a lower energy, and the reason I even ended at the low energy is because I was running for those fortresses at home without any way to replenish in a major sense. So I was going through a ton of energy just doing those solos and that kind of thing. So I'll probably get out, try to collect a little more energy before I leave so I have a little more going into tomorrow. We do have an event that starts on Tuesday. I will have a guide for that coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Some interesting tasks, and some things are back in the right place as far as I'm concerned, but we'll talk about during that. As always, thank you guys for watching. Even though it's already dark, I'm still going to cast my customary spell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Nox.